You guys having to deal with coming off the loss against Syracuse. How do you feel things went during the break? Have you put Syracuse in the rearview window?
I most definitely think we put him in the rearview window. I think it was very, very helpful for us to, have that time off after that loss, just, because it gave us a lot of time to really look at ourselves, look at our weaknesses, both the team and individually. So I try to, do my best, and just be a little bit more vocal in the secondary going forward. But I definitely think, we put it in the past, and now going into these next games is really just a one-game season, and we're trying to take that mentality the whole way, because that's going to be the biggest thing going forward is just, locking in who we have that week rather than looking back in the rearview mirror.
You guys went through this last year after the Pittsburgh game. So what do you recall from that time that you can learn from that will help you and the others moving forward?
I would say the biggest thing was just responding. We definitely were devastated last year. It was very tough, throughout our whole locker room, and the vibe, and all that was really just tough. And but I feel like as a team, we just locked in and responded, and we responded to the adversity that we were facing. So I think the biggest thing was just making sure that that we know each other, and we know that the chemistry that we have in this team, that we can still get the job done. And that's exactly how we got to take it on this season. It was definitely tough that we had that loss, but I think it was very eye-opening as well. So I definitely think that we'll be good going forward.
Dungy had some success against you guys up at Syracuse running the football with the option and things like that. Now you're really going to see a team that is unbelievable in running the option. So what things do you have to shore up coming off the Syracuse game and your defensive effort there to have success against Georgia Tech?
I think just staying physical, staying really, really physical. I think that's going to be the biggest, thing in this game is just, who's going to be more physical at the point of attack. And I feel as though, Coach Venables does a great job getting us ready in the type of scheme that we're about to see out of Georgia Tech. It's so easy for corners and safeties to fall asleep in this type of game because, they just don't throw as much. But I always took pride in this type of game because, you got to set the edge from a corner and from the safety and just be ready to come down and fill the gap and fill it where the help's needed. So I think, we'll be good there going forward.
And the thing about Georgia Tech is you can't fall asleep in pass coverage because they'll sneak somebody behind you. And this quarterback's pretty good at throwing the ball, and they seem to always have one or two receivers who can get deep.
Yeah, so I think that's why I always try to preach to the secondary during this type of week. It's still high stress. You can't, like you said, fall asleep against a team like this because as soon as you do, it's a touchdown. That's 6 points going the other way. So I think, it really starts in practice by just, making sure that we're locked in and, getting in the film room and seeing what types of passes that were coming out of what situations and just staying ready. I think, like I was saying earlier, it's just so easy to fall asleep against a team like this. They're running the ball, and then out of nowhere, play action, it's a deep ball. So just staying locked in, make sure I'm reading my keys. I think a big thing for the secondary is you got to have your eyes where they need to be against a team like this because, all that misdirection, all that will, definitely trick you. So it's going to be big for us just, having our eyes where they need to be.
It's similar to what happened last year when you guys lost to Pittsburgh. So many other nationally ranked teams lost that day that you guys really didn't tumble deeply in the polls. And same thing here when you lost to Syracuse or even this past weekend. You guys are still sitting okay. You still control your destiny in the ACC. Do you guys feel like if you run the table that things will work out and you'll be back in the playoffs?
Yes, that's what Coach Sweeney, preaches to us. We really control our destiny. Nothing is that we want from the big picture is out of reach. I think, like we were saying, just a one-game season going into it, one game at a time. I think going forward, if we just take care of the little things in practice and take care of, then the big things will, solve itself out. So. I think right now sitting at number 7 or number 6 where we are is really good for us. But we're trying not to pay too much attention to the polls right now. Just focus on getting the next game done, and then when we get to November and December, hopefully everything else will take care of itself.